Hello children, good morning to you all. How do you do? Hope that all of you are keeping well. Hello, today let us learn a poetry. It's on The Listeners, written by Walter de la Mare. So he is an English poet, a short story writer, and he is also a novelist. Most of the stories or the poetries he has written for the children. Now, he likes suspense stories and thrilling stories. For example, you have the poem which we are going to learn, The Listeners. Then there is the riddle and stories. Then The Wind Blows Over. These are some of his famous writings. Now, this Listeners is a suspense plus a story with airiness. Suspense means we are in doubt, we are not very clear about it, and secondly we are in an anxiety, what's happening afterwards. Then airiness means causing fear. So here in this story we find a traveler coming on horseback to a place where it is lonely area and there is a very old building. The full atmosphere is very fearful. It is midnight, it is night time, but moon is shining, moonlight is there. He comes and knocks at the door, but nobody answers him. But he could feel a kind of some supernatural beings are inside. So he knocks again and says, "Is there anybody?" But nobody is answering. And finally he understood that nobody is going to answer. So what did he do? He said that, he gave his message saying that, "I have come. As I have promised, I have come." That means earlier there were people living there and he had made a promise to the people when he went out that he will come back. So to fulfill the promise, he has come back. Though he could not find anybody, he left the message there. Now let us come to the poem. Everybody look in your textbook. The Listeners. "Is there anybody there?" said the traveler, knocking on the moonlit door. And his voice in the silence charmed the grasses of the forest's ferny floor. Now children, the meanings are given to you at the bottom of the text. Have a look. Charmed means bit or ate something noisily. Here the voice is chomping. That means it is eating. Then ferny means covered with the ferns. Ferns is a kind of plant. So the area is covered with the ferns. Then you have turret. Turret means a small tower in the corner of a large building. A tower connected with the large building and it will be in a corner. Smart. Smart means knocked hard. Smart means knocked hard. Its present tense is smite. Smite, smart, smitten. Okay. Leaf fringed sill. Leaf fringed sill means the bottom of a window. Bottom part you will find wood. So that bottom part of the window is known as the sill, and the leaf fringed means the edges are covered with the leaves. The sill, window sill is covered with the leaves. Next one is perplexed. What is that? Perplexed. Perplexed means puzzled. Next one is phantom listeners. Phantom listeners means shadowy beings. Beings means creatures. Just shadow. You can see only shadow. You cannot see the people. Shadowy beings from inside the building who listened quietly. Then dwelt dwell, dwelt, dwelt. Dwell means to live. Then you have the world of men. That means the world of living people. Next one you have hearkening. What is that? Hearkening. What is that? Hearkening. Hearkening is the old English word for listening. Next one is cropping the dark turf. Cropping the dark turf. What is the meaning of turf? Grass. Cropping the dark turf. No, turf means eating the grass. Neath. Neath means beneath, under. It's a short form. Stir. Stir means a movement. Speak. It's an old English way of using. It's known as, the meaning is spoke. Stir up. Stir up means one of the metal rings that hang down on each side of the horse's saddle, used to support the rider's foot. So when the rider is riding on the horseback, on both the sides there are on both the sides there are something to keep the foot. That is known as stirrup. Then surged. Surged means flowed. Flowed or filling the place. Next one is plunging hoops. Plunging hoops. Hoops means the feet of the horse. Now plunging feet means the heavy sounds of the horse's feet as it moved heavy, because it is made with there is a covering of the iron. So the horseshoe, horseshoe is there for the horse when it trots. When it trots. So trot away means it's when it goes away or walks away, runs away. So that sound is known as the plunging of the hoops. Now come to the poetry. So we'll start again. So the traveler comes and said, "Is there anybody there?" He's shouting. When we go to a house, if he cannot find anybody, and if you knock at the door and nobody is found, means he will ask, "Is there anybody there?" So the same way the traveler had asked, "Is there anybody there?" Knocking on the moonlit door. What is the meaning of moonlit door? Moonlit door means a door which was lighted by the moon. The moonlight was falling on the door. So what kind of a door he was knocking at? A door which was lightened by the moonlight. And his horse in the silence champed the grasses of the forest very floor. Where is his horse? He left the horse on the forest ferny floor. Ferny means covered with the ferns. That's a small kind of plants in the forest. So it was champing the grasses. Champed means eating up the grasses. The horse was silently eating up the grasses from the forest ferny floor. And a bird flew up out of the turret above the traveler's head. When he knocked at the door, nobody appeared there, but what was in there? A bird. A bird flew up out of the turret. What is the turret we said? A small tower in the corner of the building. There was a tower, and this bird was in the tower, and when this man shouted and he knocked, the bird flew up. And he smote upon the door again a second time. Because there was no response, he knocked at the door a second time. Smote means knocked very hard. Then what did he do? "Is there anybody there?" he said. Second time he asked, "Is there anybody inside the house?" But no one descended to the traveler. Descended. Descended means to come down. What is the opposite of descended? Ascended. A-S-C-E-N-D-E-D. Ascended, descended. So nobody came down hearing the noise of the traveler's knock or his sound. Nobody came. No head from the leaf-fringed sill. We have seen that sill is the bottom part of the window, and because it is an old building, nobody is staying there. All the creeper plants, from the ground they came up to the side of the window, and they were covering the sill part of the window because nobody is there to clean it up. So no head from the leaf-fringed sill leaned over. Nobody looked. Lean means to bend and look. When you come to the window, if you want to see somebody down, you have to bend and see. So nobody leaned over and looked into his grey eyes. This man has grey eyes, and nobody came and looked through the window. What kind of a window? Leaf-fringed window. They did not lean and look over. Where he stood perplexed and still. What do you mean by perplexed? Puzzled. He didn't know what to do. In the night he has come. Nobody is responding. So he is puzzled. Nobody is responding. So he is perplexed, or he is puzzled. And he is still, no sound at all. But only a host of phantom listeners that dwelt in the lone house then stood listening in the quiet of the moonlight to that voice from the world of men. World of men means this world where men live. So from the world of men, the voice has come. That means this man has shouted. And who came there? Who was listening? They did not come there. They were just listening. Who were there? A host. A host means a group of phantom listeners. Phantom listeners means shadowy beings, shadowy creatures from inside the building who listened very quietly. We cannot see them because they are supernatural beings, just like ghosts. So they were just listening. He felt it. And where were they staying? They dwelt. Dwell means to stay. Dwelt in the lone house. Lone house means a lonely house. Nobody is around there. Only this house is lonely house. That they stood listening in the quiet of the moonlight. That moonlight night is very quiet, and they were sitting and listening. They were standing and stood. They were standing and listening to the voice of the traveler plus the knocking of the traveler. Stood thronging the faint moonbeams on the dark stair that goes down to the empty hall. They were standing thronging. Throng means to crowd. Throng means to crowd, come together, stand together. Stood thronging the faint moonbeams on the dark stair. Where they were standing? On the dark stair. On this dark stair, what? Staircase. This staircase is going down to the empty hall. So this staircase is going down to the ground floor, and ground floor is an empty hall. From this empty hall goes the stairs up, and on the stairs this phantom listeners, they are listening and standing there. And what is on the dark stair? Faint moonbeams. Moonlight is very faintly there on the steps. And on this staircase, these phantom listeners are standing and listening to the voice of the traveler. What are they doing again? Let us see. Hearkening in an air stirred and shaken. Hearkening. What do you mean by hearkening? Listening. Hearkening is an English old word in English for hearing, listening. Hearkening in an air stirred and shaken. They are listening. And what happened to the air there? It is stirred and shaken. In an air stirred and shaken. So they are listening. They are excited. These ghosts are, these phantom listeners are excited and they stir. This is unexpectedly it is happening. By the lonely traveler's call, the air is shaken, and by how? Because of the voice, the call of the traveler. He's the only person there. His voice and the knocking noise made this air even to shake and to move. And he felt in his heart their strangeness. They are strange people. They are not familiar people. They are not human beings. So he could feel in his heart the strangeness of these phantom listeners, their stillness answering his cry. They are standing still. They are not making any movement or any talking. So the crying means the way he was talking and shouting. They were listening with the stillness, without any movement, without any answering. While his horse moved, at that time, what his horse was doing, it is not bothered about any of these things. It moved, cropping the dark turf. Cropping the dark turf. What do you mean by cropping the dark turf? Eating the grass. Cropping means eating. Turf means grass. So the grass is very dark, and moreover it is dark time, night time. So without any looking for the person who is there, he is not bothered about his master. He goes on. He got a good chance to eat. So the horse started to move and eat. Neath the starred and leafy sky. Neath means beneath. Underneath the starred and leafy sky. The sky is starred. That means so many stars are in the sky. And leafy sky. That means it is a forest area. Heighted trees are there. So all above it is full of leaves. That's why it is said that the horse is cropping the grass under the starry and leafy sky. Now, for he suddenly smote on the door. Again he knocked on the door, even louder, little more louder he knocked, and lifted his head, and he raised his head and seeing whether anybody is coming. Then he says, tell them I came. And no one answered. What did he say? Tell them I came. Again he says, that I kept my word. Tell them I came, that I kept my word. This is what he said there. What did he say? Tell them I came. Who is that them? The people who were living earlier there. So to them, he has made a promise that he will come back. So he says that according to my promise, I have fulfilled my word. And so he is just saying to the ghosts, the phantom listeners, to tell them, the people there. He understood that there are no people, but he just simply said that, tell them I came, tell them I came, that I kept my word. In order to keep my promise, I have come, I came, tell the people there. To whom he is saying? To the phantom listeners, whom he could feel as if somebody is there. Though every word he spake, never the least stir made the listeners. Though a second time he shouted loudly, but no least movement, stir means movement, is made by the listeners. That means these phantom listeners did not even move from there. They were as they were. Though every word he spake fell echoing through the shadowiness of the still house. Though every word he spake means spoke. Spake is an old English word. So, though every word he has spoken, it was echoing. You know the meaning of echoing? Through the shadowiness of the still house. Still house means quiet house. Still house means quiet house because nobody is there. So it is a quiet house. So it is a shadowy house. And these words of the man was echoing. But these ghosts, these phantom listeners, they did not mind. They did not even move. From the man, fell echoing through the shadowiness of the still house, from the one man left awake. So the only person awake is this traveler. One man left awake. He is the only person awake there. Nobody else is there. Aye, they heard his foot upon the stirrup. What is the meaning of stirrup? Metal rings that hang down on each side of horse's saddle used to support the rider's foot. That means, what did he do? They means these phantom listeners, what did they hear? They heard his foot. His foot means the traveler's foot upon the stirrup. He kept his leg on the place by the side of the horse saddle. He wanted to go back. So he mounted on the horse and he kept his leg in the place where it used to be kept. So, and they heard his foot upon the stirrup and the sound of iron on stone. What did these phantom listeners hear? They heard he keeping his foot on the place where it is to be kept and the sound of iron on stone. That means the horse started to move. It started to trot. Then it was trotting. They could hear the sound of the horseshoe. As horse trotted away. The horse was trotting away, so it could hear the sound of the horseshoe. Horse is having a horseshoe and it is made up of iron. So when the horse was running or trotting on the stones, the sound of the iron could be heard very well. So who heard this? The phantom listeners. As they heard his foot upon the stirrup and the sound of iron on stone, and how the silence surged softly backward. What else did they see? The silence surging of the sea, the sound made by the sea when it flows. So the surging, flowing of softly backward. What was coming back? Silence. Actually, the area was full of silence. But when the man came, he spoke and he knocked, so the silence had withdrawn from there. Now when he has gone away on the horseback, again the silence is softly coming backward. When the plunging hoofs were gone, plunging hoofs means, it means the heavy sounds of the horse's feet as it moved away. When the horse's feet sound is gone, the silence came back again to this building. So we have the lesson of the listener, the poetry of the listeners. Now I'll read it once again for you. Please listen. Is there anybody there? Said the traveler, knocking on the moonlit door. And his horse in the silence chomped the grass of the forest's ferny floor, and a bird flew up out of the turret above the traveller's head, and he smote upon the door again a second time. Is there anybody there? He said, but no one descended to the traveller. No head from the leaf-fringed sill leaned over and looked into his grey eyes, where he stood perplexed and still. But only a host of phantom listeners that dwelt in the lone house then stood listening in the quiet of the moonlight to that voice from the world of men, stood thronging the faint moonbeams on the dark stair that goes down to the empty hall, hearkening in an air stirred and shaken by the lonely traveller's call. And he felt in his heart their strangeness, their stillness answering his cry, while his horse moved, cropping the dark turf neath the starred and leafy sky. For he suddenly smote on the door even louder and lifted his head. Tell them, I came, and no one answered. That I kept my word, he said. Never the least stir made the listeners, though every word he spake fell echoing through the shadowiness of the still house from the one man left awake. Ay, they heard his foot upon the stirrup, and the sound of iron on stone, and how the silence surged softly backward when the plunging hoofs were gone. Children, you have to read this lesson properly, learn the spellings, its meanings, and try to write the meaning of this poem in your own words. Bye.